And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Carolina Panthers. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39, green 39.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Now let's go. Green 39, green 39.
Now back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And this is going to be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is brought in at the 21. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
He got 29 yards that time.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. A very solid gain of 27. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this and, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Back to throw here. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Philip Dorsett, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jags have taken the early lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. Fighting to stay upright. And the pressure gets to him again. Marcel Darius in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll look to throw here. He's going to sling this deep downfield into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
He talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he... And this is going to be intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a cornerback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. They'll look to throw here on first down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard. Line in enemy territory. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Sharks got it left side. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Fournette, a first down carry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Flushed out right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. DJ Chark, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau, and that'll make the score 14-0. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, a Panther was able to get on this, so Carolina keeps the ball.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him, Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. This will be caught inside the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Dante Moncrief, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Lambo on for the extra point. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Yannick Ngakoue in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it. Blue line it.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. Had the nifty footwork, but only able to get it to his own 20. Call it a gain of 3. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. play action. They'll throw. Got him, man. It's right. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10.
Gone! Detroit! Detroit! Hey, check. Detroit! Detroit! Bang! Watch him now, Barney!
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
They'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Amara Darbo, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up third down.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. DJ Chark with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Lambo to add on the extra point. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And a route is on here in this first half. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. Something of a rare incompletion. Remember, Charles, last week under 50% throwing the football. That's what he was, but he has turned that around in this game.
Last week was commonly known as a fluke. For him to be under 50%, not normal, not the usual. But to be up over 80%, that's extra time in practice, and that's throwing with extra confidence as well.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. He'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
Detroit!
Back to throw now on first down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play. But now, it's all for naught.
Here we go now. 319. 319. Man, that's trash. That's trash.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Gun!
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this.
Watch it now, Barney! Detroit!
On second down, McCaffrey. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Malik Jackson there to make the stop.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319. Go this way. Here we go. Switch. Jack.
They'll drop to throw. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down. 4th down, and here's Graham Gano now in the field goal unit for the Panthers. This from 54 yards away. And Gano's kick is right through. And now they'll just need 4 touchdowns as the deficit is now 28. So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always.
Leopard.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
His throw incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Back to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off near the 29, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
That's going to be caught. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the 1st half. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. They'll set up a throw, and he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this 1st half of action. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Over the middle, hauled in by Shark. And on 3rd and inches, we're going to get a whistle and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So 3rd and goal, the defense in the dime.
Can still bring pressure.
Now back to throw. That's caught at the 2. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Watch him now, Barney!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Back to throw here. He's going to loft one. Deep left side. He's got a man. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 36 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now Leonard Fournette, nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
He'll look to throw. Being chased out left. Space to run past the 20. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Hey, hey, hey. Black 99 Philly, here we go.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal.
Barney.
They'll look to throw here. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that is going to set up third and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? He'll look to throw. And it's caught. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Philip Dorsett with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Jaguars continue to roll. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8.
Set. Green.
Looking to throw. Push. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. Fights through at the 5. And he spins past him and into space. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here.
3 down. Hey.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Left side, it's Dorsett. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Buying time to his, and they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. It's their quarterback. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Lambeau on for the extra point. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead will swell by one more. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And the Panthers coming out now. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And incomplete on the deep ball.
What has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete. But you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. Taking on the midfield logo. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. The Jaguars getting set to go. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats?
Who?
You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear
by the time we have to
leave the booth.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Shark's got it, left side. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, 41 yards. And the Jaguars are pouring it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. He's going to air one out. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And now out come the Jags. And they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5, on the 10. They should be ready to go.
Escaping the pressure right. And he is going to go down for the 5th time tonight, and this one is going to be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. The Panthers on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. On play action, they'll throw. Flushed out right. And this one is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. We'll check on his status when we get back. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. Going up top. And into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over.
Hurry up, here we go. 3:19. 3:19.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it. But it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down. But not to get too overcritical there, because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct.
Now let's go.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hurry up, here we go. 3:19.
He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Or call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Got to be careful here, backed up this deep on 3rd down. And he's got his target. That's more. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
Set. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They'll drop to throw. They'll buy some time running. Incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Calais Campbell in there to drop him the 7th time tonight. He's gone down. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This will be 3rd and 19. They'll set up to throw. And now here's another interception. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college. So sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career. But when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw now on 1st down. Throw left side complete. It's Ferguson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Here we go now.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. That is caught at the 7. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one goes for 24 yards.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Got some room at the 30. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Malik Jackson in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. They take over with great field position. They've got the big lead. Most would say they should kneel it, but the key word there is should. You never know here.
You never know. That's the exact play that should happen. But some people like stats. You know, some people like to put more things up on the board, but kneel down is usually the right play here.
We'll see what they do in this situation. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
And that's the type of run that you'll live with. In this game, he's had a good number of carries. He's just been unable to really break off anything substantial.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
3 down, 3 down. Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Hut.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Jacksonville, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Indianapolis next week. Meanwhile, for Carolina, the calendar changed. October didn't help as they dropped to 0-5 on the year. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Now, let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
You